Hi, my name is Aayushi and I converted IIM Indore for the PGP HRM program 2 months back. I started my CAT preparation early because I knew that I would be juggling between my college classes and my preparation for the exam. So one thing which worked for me was that early start because I was able to work on my basics and then eventually build on that. Another thing which worked for me was that early access to the mock series. I started giving the mock exams in early February only. So I had a lot of time in actually evaluating my strengths and weaknesses. So I made a clear cut analysis of which areas I'm good at so that I'm able to leverage those strengths and then eventually work on my weaknesses. So the Bullseye series actually provides you an analysis of the weaknesses and your strengths, and it tells you how you which chapters you are not comfortable with, which topics you are excelling at. So that kind of analysis actually helps you in understanding your areas of strengths and weaknesses. One thing which again helped me was the analysis. I used to do thorough analysis of my papers. So not only did I used to see what are the questions that I did wrong, I also used to make a note of what all are the questions that I missed, which were easier and could have been attempted, and rather than those questions that I attempted. And apart from that, there were various questions in which I was not able to apply the tips and the tricks which were taught in the class. So I went for the traditional method. So I used to make a point or note down those questions as well, so that for the next exam, I knew that these are the questions which have to be done by these tips and tricks rather than the traditional method, because that helps in the cost saving. And then eventually the analysis of those questions which are not to be done in the exam, because every CAT aspirant or every a person who has cleared CAT knows that CAT is not just about hard work but is also about smart work. You need to identify the right kind of sets, the right kind of questions. So, but I feel that the real struggle begins after your CAT exams, when you have your interviews lined up. But even in that case, Bullseye came to rescue. So we used to have these mock interviews and mock GDs in which we used to get a real sense of how these interviews or how these GDs are going to be held. Anup Puri sir helped us a lot in our writing ability section. So they classified 4 types of VATs. I still remember it, and which actually made it easier for us to do it on the D day. So those VAT written ability test and the GDs actually went pretty smoothly for me in all the processes because I had enough practice of that. As for the interviews, we had a lot of mock interviews. We had these weekly mock interviews, and then we had 2 interviews on the boot camp. So all these interviews actually help you in analyzing that which are the areas of strengths or what are your talking points in the interview. So identifying those talking points and actually driving your interview in your favor was one thing which was taught during my preparation, which I believe is one of the reason why I was able to crack these interviews. So all the interview processes were pretty smooth for me, even for off the table questions or off the topic questions which were thrown at me. I was able to handle it correctly because I had enough practice. I had prior practice in this area. Apart from that, I had great mentors during my preparation. So for the LRDI and quant section, Deepak Dureja sir and Harinder sir gave us a lot of tips and tricks which helped us in saving a lot of time in our CAT exam. And as for VARC, Pranav sir helped me a lot. So even after my CAT exam, for my interview preparation, he helped me a lot since I had an inclination towards HR from the start. So he helped me in actually handling those HR related questions, or and telling me which are the areas that I need to work on, or which are the subjects that I need to brush up on, and what are the topics that they could ask me, and what could be my talking points in the interview. So I would like to thank Bullseye for the whole journey, for the whole experience. It has been an amazing journey, and thank you for your help. And I wish all the best to all the CAT aspirants out there.